Okay, let's get started. My name is Quazzy. If we haven't got a chance to meet yet in real life, we're going to do a 60-minute Vinyasa Flow. You're welcome to modify if you ever need to modify, adjust if you need to adjust. Just allow your practice to really be yours today. Okay? You can find yourself in a seated position, either sitting crisscrossed or sitting on your heels. And then from there, maybe wiggle the shoulders down, wiggle the ears up, wiggle the jaw out, blink the eyes a few times. Start to come into a relaxed position. And then allow the face to relax. Okay. The face relaxed. Let's take a 4-second count with our breath. Give yourself an inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, and let it hold at the top. And then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and leave it empty at the bottom. Again, inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, hold it at the top. And then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, leave it out at the bottom. And as we move through class, allow the breath to be its own fluid self. Almost like dozens upon dozens of different waves in the ocean. There's an ebb and flow where the breath may start to fuse together. Inhales turning into exhales, turning into inhales, turning into exhales. So just allow that process of breath to move on its own time. We can watch it, almost like we would watch the ocean, in this greater context of what we're doing for this hour. A little bit of peace can be invited for the rest of our day. If there's a person, there's a place, there's someone that you want to send an extra breath to, you can send an extra breath that way. Let's take one more full breath in and a breath out. From here, let's come into tabletop position. Hands and knees to the mat, shoulders on top of wrist. Space out through the fingertips. Allow your knees and tops of the feet to press down really firm. Lift out of your armpits and then look up towards the ceiling for cow pose. And arch in the spine. Let's hold it here for an extra breath. See if your breath can get to the middle part of your back. And as you exhale, round your spine. Scoop your hips in. Cat pose, holding it here for a moment. That part of your back it's hard to scratch. You kind of would need a back scratcher for. Take a big inhale. Try to fill up into that space. And as you exhale, cow pose again. Looking up, tipping the tailbone up. There might be a little crunching in the neck. We'll stay here for one more cycle of breath. Big breath in. And on the exhale, round. Chin curls in. Looking for your belly button. Take a few of these on your own. Arch the spine, round the spine. You can roll it around through the hips. You can roll it around through your neck. You can roll it around through the ribs. Keep the belly engaged. There can be this permission to let the breath move freely as the body also moves freely. Sometimes you'll feel they intersect. They'll find each other in some type of conversation. Internally, the dialogue is now I inhale, now I exhale. Walk your knees back about 3 to 6 inches. And then shift the hips back into a child's pose. Let the forehead come to the floor. The fingertips can stay extended. The elbows can stay extended. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Look forward in front of you. Let's roll shoulders on top of wrist. Extend the legs back into plank pose. The heels engage, the kneecaps lift, inner thighs active. Lift the right hand off the mat and really feel your left hand push into the floor. And then let's switch, right hand down, left hand off the mat. Right hand really gets to push into the floor. And then bring the left hand back down. Bring your right hand to your low back. A little bit of a twist for your shoulder and through the pec. Let's take an inhale. And the exhale, right hand down, left hand to the lower back. A little twist, a little bind. Good, another inhale. And then left hand down. Let's do it one more time. Right hand to low back. This time, see if you can keep your hips square. Keep rolling the right hip down, tip the left hip up. Nice. Let's switch right hand down, left hand to the lower back. And again, trying to square off the hips. Tip the left hip up. Left hip down, right hip up. Let's take another breath in. And then plank pose. Strong work in the plank. Drop your knees to the mat. Lower all the way down. Untuck your toes, push your hips into the floor. You can lift the chest up for cobra pose. Roll the shoulders back. Nice, and then slowly lower. Keep your knees on the mat, just lift your feet in the air. Give yourself 5 supported push-ups. So the knees stay on the mat, press yourself up, and then lower down. Press yourself up, and lower down. Breathing in, and breathing out. If you've done through your 5, start to lower all the way back down to the floor. Absolutely no rush to find it. Press the top of the feet back down into the mat. Lift your chest up, cobra pose. Take a moment to look left and right. Find a little space in the upper neck. And then from here, press your hips back into child's pose. And then roll yourself forward into tabletop. Tuck your toes, hips high, down dog. Pedal out to the feet. Walk out the dog. It might feel nice in the comfort of your own space to let out a few hums or a few ha's or flutter out the lips. So many different expressions of breath. Maybe it's a breath of joy. Maybe it's a breath of release. Maybe it's a breath of focus. Keep the head relaxed and just walk to the front of your mat, forward fold. Creep in there, tiptoe in there. Once you're at the top of the mat, just giving it room to sway. A little subtle dance for today. A rock, a shimmy, a sway, a bend, whatever it is. Now I inhale, and now I exhale. You can bring your hands to your shins, roll yourself up halfway, half lift. Belly stays engaged. Release down, fold forward. Really nice. Let's take an inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And then release the hands down by the sides. Let the eyes close, let the face relaxed. Every thought, every breath, every sensation that moves through the body, just a tiny wave. You at the middle of your practice are like a giant rock, unmoved in the middle of the ocean. Keep some weight into your heels. Push your feet down into the floor, reach your arms up, take a big breath in. On your exhale, release down, fold forward, head heavy, let it drop. Nice. Inhale, half lift. And on the exhale, forward fold. Step your right leg back and just stay there for a breath. Breathe into that lunge. Stretch your chin forward, come into plank, left foot behind you. Lower down halfway, upward facing dog, untuck the toes. Let your inner thighs have lift And then slide your hips forward, right underneath the armpits. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, hips high to the sky. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, lift your right leg up towards the sky. And on your exhale, bring your knee to your forehead, round your spine. Inhale, right leg to the sky. And step it through between your hands. Taking a moment there just to breathe into that lunge. Look forward and step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Half lift, big breath in. And on the exhale, release. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And then hands by the sides. All about that reconnection. Feet connecting with the floor. Connecting to our body. Take an inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And on the exhale, release, forward fold. Awesome. Step the left leg back. Looking forward. Let's take one more inhale here. And on the exhale, step the right leg back, plank. You can either lower down halfway for up dog, or you can lower all the way down to the mat for cobra. Whatever back bend's working for you, working with you today. Take your time. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Look underneath your right armpit. Look underneath your left armpit. Then let the head relax. Take an inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky. And on your exhale, knee to forehead, round your spine, curl it in. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. Step it through between your hands. Nice, look forward, breathe in. On your exhale, step forward, forward fold. Let's take it right to the top this time. Inhale, reach up, go up, maybe even go back. You can take it all the way down, forward fold. Now 3 more times. Inhale, reach yourself up. And release it down. Move at your pace, move at your breath. Almost like you're gathering this energy from the ground, sending it out, pulling it down from the sky, back into the earth. A couple more times, breathing in, and breathing out. Once you've done your fair share, you can let your head hang and forward fold. Some people may let the arms dangle. That's nice. Some might grab opposite elbows and rock it. You get to choose. You get to say, this is my practice today. Good. Take one more inhale. Exhale, let everything go. Inhale, half lift, big breath in. And on the exhale, release, fold forward. You can step back or you can hop back. Ignore. Let's take an inhale, lift the right leg up towards the sky. Bend your knees, stretch open through the hip. And then take an inhale, straighten the right leg once again. Bring your right knee to right elbow, let it touch. Awesome, and then inhale, right leg up towards the sky. Bring your right knee to your left elbow, let it touch. And then inhale, right leg up to the sky. Step your right foot through between your hands. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Take a twist. We'll stay for one more inhale. And on your next exhale, right hand down to the floor. Bring both arms up to the sky. High lunge. A little bit of balance here. Find the low seat. Allow the fingertips to stay engaged. Good, really nice, everyone. Let's take an inhale. Look up towards the sky. And on the exhale, release your hands down to the floor. Look forward, step to the front of your mat, forward fold. Head hangs heavy. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Straighten through your elbows. Let your fists fall over your head. Turn the head a little left and right. Shake it out. Shake out the worry. Shake out the tension. Shake out. Just shake out. Start to nod. Start to bring it in. Bring in the joy. Bring in the affirmation. Bring in. Just bringing it in. Let's take another inhale. On the exhale, let the hands drop. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Once you're there, you can relax the hands by the sides. Good. Bring the arms up towards the sky and bend your knees. Sit the hips as low as the knees. Drop the hips as low as the knees. And then shift your knees back towards your heels. Lift your toes off the mat and look up from your heart. One more inhale. On the exhale, release, fold forward, let that go. Inhale, half lift, big breath in. And on the exhale, release, forward fold, nice. Step your legs back, travel for your flow. Up dog or cobra into your down dog. Pedal it out once you get into your down dog. Just pedal out the feet, shake out the head, warming up through the legs. Let's take an inhale, lift the left leg up. Bend your knee, stretch open through the hip. Yeah. Let's take an inhale, straighten the left leg. On your exhale, left knee to left elbow, let it touch. Let's go. Inhale the left leg up to the sky. Bring it to your right elbow. Nice, Maddie. Inhale, left leg up. Step the left foot through between the hands. Good. From here, left arm up towards the ceiling. Take a twist. Nice, cat. Let's give it one more inhale, rolling the left shoulder open. And then release, hand down to the ground. Both arms up towards the ceiling. A little bit of balance here in our high lunge. Not uncommon for us to have to feel out where our hips are. You can place hands to your hips. This might give you a better visualization of how you can work to keep the hips balanced. Feel the left hip, feel the right hip. See if they can kind of be on the same level as each other. Maybe it's right hip rolling forward. Maybe it's sitting lower than the left knee. It could be a number of things. Once you have a good firm base, engage through your right glute muscle, arms come back up, take an inhale, reach up, go back. And on your exhale, release, hands to the floor, step forward to the front of your mat, forward fold. Let's interlace the fingers behind the spine once again. Stretch through the elbows. Let the fist roll forward. And if you always grip the hand the same way, maybe try interlacing the other thumb on top. So just kind of switching the grip. Nice, Auntie. You can bend your right knee. Look over your left shoulder. Take a twist. Go ahead and switch. Bend your left knee. Look over your right shoulder. Take a twist. And then come back to center. Just bend both knees and let your head drop a little bit more. Keep both knees bent. Keep your head relaxed. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, release your hands down to the floor. Keep your knees bent. Come into chair pose. Chest lifted, arms to the air. Imagine you're going to zap something out through your fingertips. Fingertips extend. One more inhale. On the exhale, release, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step or hop back. Travel for a flow. Pelling out the feet, moving through the hips, letting that space free up. Let's take a big breath in. Keep your hips going up, lift your heels up, get high on your toes. With a big sigh, let your heels drop, head drop. Let's do that one more time. Lift your heels up high, lift your hips up high. Take a big breath in. Let your heels drop. Roll yourself into upper push-up plank. And then from here, forearm plank. Right forearm down, left forearm down. You can gently kind of rock the heels forward and backward just as a way to stay active and also keep that weight distribution evening itself out. Rocking the weight a little forward and backwards. Shoulders going a little in front of the elbow. Shoulders going a little bit behind the elbows. We're going into this for 3, 2. Lower your hips all the way down to the floor. Untuck your toes for Sphinx Pose. Now imagine you were that Sphinx Pose in Egypt. Have you seen it? That Sphinx doesn't try too hard. It's just kind of there royal, spine royal. Firmly planted. You can keep spacing out through the hands. Really feel your hands touch the floor. Feel each fingertip. The space between each finger. You know, there's a little effort. Imagine you're going to pull the mat from underneath you, so you're sliding the elbows backwards, right? But it's something that you feel more than someone else could see. Finding one point of focus, whether the eyes are closed or open, and then just kind of relaxing your throat, allowing the breath to elevate. If you feel like your pose doesn't have enough gas to it, you need to power it up some. Try to use your pelvis. Try to press the pelvis into the floor. This can help engage your inner thigh muscles. In this moment, like the Sphinx, a strong rock. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Now from here, back into forearm plank. Tuck your toes, lift the hips up. And then from here, lift your hips high, dolphin pose. So forearms stay on the mat. It's like down dog, but on the forearms. Let the neck relax. Take an inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Bend it open, stretch to the right hip. Inhale, right leg back straight. Release it to the floor. Inhale, left leg up. Bend it, open through the hip. Take an inhale, straighten it. Exhale, lower it to the mat. Now, this is the biggest moment here. Both hands at the same time. Lift your elbows off the mat. Push your hands down, lift the elbows up. Down dog. Yeah. Let's take a big breath in and a big breath out. Look forward, take a walk to the front of your mat, forward fold. You can take a half lift once you're there, biggest half lift yet, fill it up. And with a sigh, let it drop. Stand up tall, reach your arms up to the sky. You can reach back into a back bend. You can take this back bend all the way down into a forward fold. Take an inhale, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Bend your left knee to help this twist. We'll scale it from here. Either stay right here or drop your right hand behind you. Grab for your inner left thigh. Give it one more inhale just to turn the chest open. And then release back to forward fold. Right hand down, left arm up to the sky. Bending the right knee a little. We'll scale it. You can drop the left hand behind you and grab for inner right thigh. Think about leaning the shoulders back as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, release, forward fold, hand to the floor. Nice, let's take an inhale, half lift. And an exhale, forward fold. Step your feet back, upper push-up plank. Travel for your flow. Okay, we'll get off the arms for a little bit. Back into the legs. Take an inhale. Re-lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. You can bend your knee and open it up. If you want to flip your dog over, you can drop the right foot over and flip the dog. Back into your down dog split. Inhale the right leg up to the sky. And then exhale, step it through between your hands. Reach your arms up, come into that high lunge once again. And then we'll open up into warrior two. Back heel down, reach your arms apart. Let's take one more inhale in this warrior two. And then on your exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the floor. Step back, travel for your flow. Inhale the left leg up. Bend it open. If you want to flip the dog over, you can flip the dog over. Inhale, left leg back up. Exhale, step it through. We'll meet with the arms up, high lunge. We'll take this into warrior two. One more big breath in here. And on your exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, travel for your flow. Yeah, now we're going to move around a lot on our mat. So if you get lost with the rights and lefts, it's okay. Right? As long as you feel yourself kind of evening it out with breath and with movement, okay? So just take an inhale, lift the right leg up, stretch it up, and then just bring it back to the floor. Inhale, stretch the left leg up, and just bring it back to the floor. Inhale, right leg up. Step it through between your hands. Rock your weight back and forth. Straighten and bend to the leg. And then look to your left, turn your whole body to the length of your mat. So now we're as long as the mat, shift the weight a little bit from side to side. Now turning the left toes to the back of the mat. Walk your hands to the back of the mat, facing the other side. Step your left leg back into an upper push-up plank. And then drop your knees to the mat for 3 push-ups. Lower down, and then push yourself back up. Inhale, bring it down, and exhale, press it back up. Inhale, bring it down, and then press it back up. Downward facing dog, hips high to the sky. Okay. Take an inhale, lift your left leg up, just stretch it up, and then bring it back down. Inhale the right leg, stretch it up, and then bring it back down. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Step it through between your hands. Straighten your leg, bend your leg, rock the weight back and forth. And then look to your right, turn your body to the length of your mat. Once again, bending your right knee, left toes could lift. Bending your left knee, right toes could lift. Start to shift the weight from one side to the next. Turn the right toes back to the front of your mat. Walk your hands to meet it. Step forward to the front of your mat, forward fold. Let the head sway, swing the arms out. Take an inhale for a half lift. And on the exhale, release, fold. Reach yourself up to standing. Bring the arms overhead. Let your palms press. And then bring it to the center of your chest. Lift your right knee off the floor. Right knee as high as the hip. And then grab the front of your right knee, pull it up. Give it a good squeeze up towards your chest. Keep the left leg super straight, the right knee going up. Even roll the right hip down if it tries to hike up. Let's take a big breath in here. On the exhale, arms up to the sky. Kick back into your warrior 3, hinge at your hips. Hands can come to the center of your chest. Good. From here, right foot finds the floor behind you. High lunge, arms up to the sky. Turn your whole body to the right. Arms can reach away from you. Allow the chest to lift. Big breath in. And on the exhale, fold forward. Let it go. Skandasana to the right. Skandasana to the left. Giving it a little bit of space from each side. We're going to face the back of the mat again. Turn your right toes to the back of the mat. Walk your hands to meet it. Step your right leg back, upper push-up plank. Good. From here, right hand, let it touch your left shoulder. Just give it a tap. And then bring it down. Left hand touch the right shoulder. Give it a tap. And then bring it down one more time. Right hand touch the left shoulder. And then bring it down. Left hand touch the right shoulder. And then bring it down. Downward facing dog, hips high to the sky. Take an inhale, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling, stretch it long. And then step it through between your hands. Look forward in front of you, take an inhale. Step your left foot to the front of your mat, forward fold. So you're facing the back of the mat, both feet together, head heavy. Take an inhale, half lift, big breath in. And on the exhale, release, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, let your palms press. And then bring hands to the center of your chest. Lift the left knee up. And then bring the left knee into your chest. Give it a good squeeze. Breathing in and breathing out. Arms up to the sky. Kick your left leg back, warrior three. Hands can come to center of chest. Belly stays in. Let's come into high lunge. Left foot finds the floor. Arms up to the sky. You're going to turn your whole body to the left. Toes turned in. Arms out long. Good. Now with the body out to the length of your mat, pivot your heels in, toes out, bend your knees, goddess pose. Elbows can bend as well. Rock your weight a little side to side. And then let both heels lift off the mat. Just come to balance on the ball of the feet. Keep your chin off your throat, head held high. One more inhale. On exhale, drop everything. Heels down, toes turn in, head falls to the floor. Take a half lift, big breath in. And on the exhale, release, fold. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Take a twist. Awesome. Give it one more inhale where you really look over the right shoulder. And then you can release, right hand down. Left arm goes up for a twist. And you can have your hand face you like you're giving yourself a high five, Auntie. So turning the wrists. Almost like you're going to high five me. There you go. Yeah. This should help the inner arm open up. Let's take one more inhale there. And then release, hands down. Turn the left toes to the front, walk your hands to meet it. And then step forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Reach your arms up. Palms pressed. And then hands to heart center. You can bring the hands by the sides. And then bring the right knee up once again. Right knee lifted. Hands to your hips, kick back into warrior three. We're gonna open up into half moon. Your left hand can reach towards the floor. Start to roll the right hip on top of the left hip. Flex through your right toes. And if it feels okay with your balance, you can reach the right arm up to the sky. Now you can try to do this without ever letting your right foot touch the floor. Come into tree pose. Bring your right foot forward, still balancing on the left leg. Right foot comes to the inside of left thigh. If you have to adjust, just adjust to find a tree that works for you. And this will be the last posture we do before we stand. So there can be this kind of just settling into it. Maybe the arms go up, maybe they go out. Let's give it one more cycle of breath. When you're ready to let this side go, just plant the right foot back down. Shake that out a little bit if you need to shake it out. You can even look at your feet and kind of see how they turn. See if all the toes make it to the mat. See it, just kind of how the structure of your foot is, so you know what kind of map you're dealing with. Okay. Face coming back forward, lift the left knee up. Remember, shake out the left toes a little bit. Hands to the hips. Let's kick back into warrior three. For a lot of us, even in warrior three, the hips are already turning. So when you move into half moon, just kind of know how much you need to turn to stack the left hip on top of the right. Even if you've turned it just a little bit, that's enough to just breathe in and breathe out and see what comes from that. See what comes from just the effort. And then tree pose. Just trying to travel yourself up. Left foot inside right thigh. Let's take a breath in. And on the exhale, you can start to just release the shape. A little side stretching, hand can go to hip. and just teapot it out one side to the next. And then with the hands behind you, the fingertips spread wide, drop your neck and just little half circles. If it's okay with your neck, you might roll it back. Do half circles with the head back. Check the rotation in the hip. Hands can come to hips. Bring it around town. And the hands come to low back for an assisted back bend. And here you might need to turn a little left and right if it helps line your spine up. Maybe it's the hips, maybe it's the neck. Take your time to come back up to center. Relax the hands, bend your knees, and just start to roll yourself down. Just take a breath in, breath out. You can step back, upper push-up plank. Travel for your final flow. Final moments in down dog. Just kind of pedal out through your feet. Shake out the head. Maybe bend both knees and straighten them. Come into upper push-up plank. Lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Untuck your toes. Reach your arms out like a letter T. If you don't have the space in the house to do so, you can cactus the arms instead. Good. From here, keep your hips into the floor. Just lift your chest up. Take an inhale, chest lifted. On the exhale, lower chest. 2 more times. Inhale, bring it back up. And then lower. Last one, lift the chest. And then lower. Place your left ear on the mat. Bring your hands by your side. Palms can face up. Give yourself another big breath in. And a big breath out. Okay, chin forward. This time your arms forward in front of you. This time arms and legs lift. Lift your arms up, chest up, legs up, everything up. Legs stay lifted. Bring your arms out like a T. Roll the shoulders back. Bring the arms back forward again. And then bring them back behind you. Squeeze your fists. Punch of the fists. Open the fingers. And then bring the arms forward in front of you. Last time here. Just paddle your feet and hands like you were swimming for 10, 9, 8. Keep it going. You can do it for 7. You can do this for 6, 5. You're almost there. 4. Keep breathing. 3. You've got this. 2. And then 1. Let it go. Right here on the mat. Hands can go by your sides. Palms face up. Allow the heart just to take its natural beat. Giving it just one more breath in. And one more breath out. From here, you can just flip over on your back. Just coming to lie on your back. Flipping over just like a pancake. Letting your back getting to rest on the floor now. Yogi's choice today. If you feel like you want to find any extra moves to seal off your practice, you're welcome to it. I would lead today with Shavasana, just a longer Shavasana. Just allowing some of the effort you did do to rest. Rest should be valued even more than it's already valued. This rest is supported by all the effort, the work you've already done. This rest is in balance, it's in harmony with all the activity, all the energy that you conjured up. Let's take one more big breath in. And big breath out. You might just take a dry swallow or lick the lips. You might blink the eyes, move through the fingers and toes. You can stretch the arms up. You can roll yourself to one side, taking a moment there. And eventually find your way through a seat. Thank you so much for taking the time, for sharing your practice, for sharing your energy today. Hopefully something we did today shows up in some meaningful way for the rest of your day. I left my info. We're doing like exclusive YouTube videos or just different content that we put only on our Patreon page. We have a Patreon page now, so if you want to be someone who subscribes monthly to some of the other videos, some of the other yoga throughout your week, I put the link right there in the chat. And everything else, you can just reach out to us however you can reach out to us. Thank you so much. Again, namaste.